Hello guys, and welcome to another Spore creation challenge where you guys in the comments will tell me some challenges and ideas I can try and do, and I will, you know, smash my head against the wall. So the last one we had so far was to create the biggest creation possible and the smallest creation possible, along with a bunch of other ones. Today I'm going to go with another highly requested one, and that's basically to not only use a default body, so I can't change the shape of the body at all, but also to use default sized parts or default modifications. So basically default everything. I'm hoping except colour, otherwise it's going to be an extremely boring creation. So let us crack on then and think about the body shape. So got a bit of a loophole here, guys. Got a bit of a loophole. No one ever said I had to go with the first body given, because this one is pretty damn boring. Let's go ahead then and just swap around until we can get something a little bit more interesting. I'm not really fishing for anything in particular, but a lot of these are, you know, kind of bland. So I'm thinking could always go the Willosaur body. That is based on the Willosaur from the 2005 demo. Nah, I think it's gonna go too close to the tripod route. I mean, that's gonna be hard for me to resist. Okay, let me just like spam it a couple times and that. Oh, for God's sake. That's like the most basic one I could have gotten. Alright then, no problem. Just go ahead and just make it white then, so it's a little bit easier to see against the dark background. Okay, I'm assuming I'm allowed to move it around the place when I really hope. So the whole default size thing, I've got a feeling that this is going to be a lot more aggravated than I'm going to initially suspect. And I'm probably going to end up like changing a lot of the sizes out of habit. Now the question is, with the legs, like, am I allowed to like swap and choose around, or like can I change the things? I think I can. I mean, it makes sense that I could, at the very least, you know, like change the position. At least I hope so. If not, then you know, challenge already failed. I'm not going to change the size though, since that was one of the biggest things a lot of people did mention was, oh, you're not allowed to change the size of any part. So the question is, what kind of legs do I want? What kind of legs do I want? I could always go a little bit cheeky and use the single segmented stuff instead. Let's see how that look actually. So let's go ahead and use it. Oh god, they're a bit big. They're a bit big. Alright, well, I'm not allowed to change the size of them. Let's try that. How'd that look? That looks dumb. Let's try that one. Maybe if I position it like that would kind of work. Okay. This already looks very strange. Then again though, these creation challenges, like all of them just look completely bizarre, like every time. Okay, I guess that kind of works actually. It looks like it's, I don't know, something about it just reminds me of anime pants for some reason. I got no idea why. Right then. For the feet. What kind of feet do we want to give this? I'm kind of feeling like it should have like these stumble stilt feet. I feel that's going to suit the best, but let's just at least, you know, try some other ideas first. Let's try some of these actually. I've not used any of these parts yet. Well, I'm not sure they'd work for this. That looks very interesting up there. Oh, wow. Ah, too bad though. They're just a bit too big. You know, that clipping there, as you guys can see. Damn, that'd look really... Oh, actually, surely I can rotate. I mean, I think I can rotate. In fact, it makes sense I can rotate. But, it just doesn't work. I like it though. I really like how that looks. Let's try those. Okay, they're not clipping. Okay, then it kind of out the back there. No, I actually really like those ones. They look really cool. Let's see how they look in a test drive. These are from a completely different pack. This is not Dark Injections, these feet. I don't normally link them in the video description, but I will this time. So if anyone wants to see like all these, what are they called? I'm not actually sure what the name is. Like, I think it's Strange and Beautiful pack. I'm not entirely sure. But I will link that in the video description so that you guys can check it out for yourself. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. I like that. Okay. Alright, moving on then. Moving on. Let us give it some arms. Now, do I want to keep on going through the whole tree trunk route, or do I want to change it up a bit? I'm thinking we'll change it up a bit actually. Let's try that as like some kind of weird shoulders. That as the arms. Oh wow. Oh. Ah, that's pretty damn cool. Although the shoulders now feel like extremely weak by compare. The whole thing seems kind of weird, actually. That body is just far too small. The body's wrecking me. But you guys said that is the whole point of the challenge, is to try and make it work with that that horribly default body. Right, got a bit of that going on there then. I kind of feel like, for how exaggeratedly large the legs are, I kind of feel like this creature in general is going to be very exaggerated, so... Oh, then again, I can't exaggerate it because it's all default. I suppose it's just gonna, you know, go how it is. I feel like it should have really large hands to complement, you know, the large body, but... Or the larger legs, but I can't change that, so... Yeah, I should have to go ahead and see. That looks dumb. That looks interesting. Let's try, like, again, let's try the whole, Strange and Beautiful pack. If there are any... Okay, there are hands. They're all kind of... They're a bit weird. Ooh, those ones are good. Oh my god. They're a bit too big. Definitely a bit too big there. Let's try those ones. Oh, huh. They're still very big. Still probably a bit too big, but it kind of works. I kind of like that. That's actually a cool part. Can that like be modified? It can't. You got the crab claws there. I'm not even sure what they're meant to be. Oh, hold on. Did those claws retract? Oh wow, the claws retract in those. Is that like animated something? Hold on. I haven't seen that before. So the claws in those hands. Oh yeah, that's so weird. They kind of like go in and out. Oh, that's creepy. That's really cool though. That's a very interesting touch. Do those animate? I think they can. Oh, they kind of do actually. Oh, that's weird. I wonder if they all have a feature like that then. Like, do these retract? I doubt they would. Oh wow, they're very animating though. Cool. Okay. Now, it does look a bit, it does look a bit ridiculous, I will admit. Maybe if I change the position of the arms in general, we can kind of make this... Oh, actually, that right there, kind of works. That kind of reminds me of one of our Hieroglyphs UBD clowns. Or maybe the UBD ghoul. Ghoul, that's the word. Ah, interesting. Okay. This is like a very interesting part. I keep saying interesting. Like, I think you guys probably get a bit bored of me saying that, but I'm liking it. Oh, while we're at it, let's keep on trying these parts then. I suppose it's a really good opportunity for me to actually experiment with these. I've had these parts for quite a while now, but I'm so used to my current library of parts, my current palette, if you will, that I just don't really touch these as much as I should. Oh wow, that's a very interesting head. Do these actually animate as well? They do. They can't be modified though, which kind of sucks. Or then again, I can't really imagine how you could modify these. Oh, that's a very cool looking one. They're all a bit big though, which normally isn't a problem. But for this particular challenge, it's obviously, you know, it's a bit of a problem. And I'm assuming that all the black stripes mean that they're going to have like their own unique colorations when you texture it in. Yeah, I'm not sure any of these are really going to work for this creation. Oh, wow. Huh, that's a very interesting head. But yeah, not for this one then. You got the dinosaur heads. But it has no neck. That really sucks. I don't know. Let's try this. Like, I'm really just having to try and think so differently when doing this, which is part of the fun. Like, I really enjoy it. I'm having to think like, in some cases, such as right now, the complete opposite of how I normally do. Like, normally this would be really easy, just, you know, use I don't know, a croc cutter head, chuck on a bunch of nail downs, job done, you know, ethel razors. Normally it's really nice and easy, but in this case, like, first of all, I'm trying to find a head that, you know, proportionately works. That's a very interesting head there. How does that animate? It doesn't. One of Rob's heads, I think. That's in a very weird way. Kind of suits it. A little bit more than the others, at least. Alright, yeah, I think we'll go with that then. Now, for it feels like it's lacking something huge. I think it's his small body that's like really throwing me off right now. I feel like it's just lacking a lot. Maybe we just give it some like xenomorph spikes. You know how like the Queen Xenomorph has all those weird little spines coming out of her back? Maybe we should like do a bit of that, for instance. Just give it a little bit more, you know, variety and features happening. Make it a little bit smaller down there. Make it, yeah, like that. Cool. Have a third set up there, since I just kind of like having sets of 3. Sets of 2 or 3, and at the moment 2 seems a little bit lackluster. 3 seems... Actually, 3 seems a little bit too much now that I think about it. I don't know. We'll see. What else? What else? What else? What else? It just feels... Oh, I know. Provided that we can get the limbs to be, you know, the right size, we might be able to give it like a second pair of arms, like that just kind of folded inwards, like I do, like I do with a lot of my Shakir creatures. You know how they just have those little arms kind of folded in here. Like some kind of insectoid type of thing. Maybe like that? Okay, cool. That's about the right size. I would like it just a little bit smaller, but, you know, again, we are limited right now. But I think it works. Let's go ahead then and see. Let's try that. That is actually not that bad. I didn't think that would work, but that's... Okay, well the wrists are a bit broken. I have to pull them out for it to not do that, but maybe... I kind of like it like that, actually. Yeah, that's working. I'm liking it. So we've got a very weird alien creature with very thick legs. Very thick. I know how much some of you guys love that word. It's so weird. Alright, alright. I'm really trying to resist the urge right now to give it a tail. I don't know why. I just like giving tails. I feel like it really balances off like some, you know, the more exotic shaped creatures. But I know it's something I kind of overdo sometimes. So maybe I should pull the legs back a bit instead. Yeah, like that. That works. Maybe a little bit inwards. Okay, it looks balanced. It does look very balanced. Maybe just back a little bit more. There's always a point I like to stress in these kind of creations is you really got to think about gravity. I know obviously Spore's not really a very realistic game, but when it comes to like making any kind of creature, you really want to think about the gravity. If it actually looks like it could stand up without falling over, without, you know, kneeling too far to the side, to the front, to the back. Because it really does just help tie in the creature together. It's one of those small subtle things, just like anatomy proportions. It's a small and subtle thing that really adds like the overall final design of the creation. It really helps. Now, details. This is going to be the hard part. Not Minecraft, so no, we're not going to have any Minecraft pieces. What am I going to do for details? Because again, I can't change the shape. So it severely limits my the potential. This is going to be the hard part. Okay, I might have an idea. Let's try this bit here. I can at least rotate. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I can at the very least rotate it. So if I try to do that, maybe like that, I can get like some kind of like body painting or like belly painting going on. It's just going to suck though that I can't change the size because now it's going to look very, excuse me, very abrupt towards the top. Unless I rotate it around, like maybe I can try and make it work. Right now, all I want to do is change the size. Like not even modify it, or I'd love to modify it. Oh crap, I just did that there. Okay, I deleted that part. Yeah, just like I was saying in the beginning, guys, I have a feeling that I'm going to accidentally do this quite often. That is change the shape because, or change the size because I'm just so used to it. Obviously, I'm not meant to, so I deleted that part when I did. Didn't quite fail the challenge yet. At least I hope not. Right. I guess that kind of works. It's kind of weird. Maybe. I'll get rid of that bit there. I'll get rid of that bit. I will use... What will I use? Let's try that bit there. And I just kind of like work in the details. If I like overlap it enough, maybe it'll kind of make sense. Maybe? See, that isn't too far off of what I've done in the past. Well, I feel like that particular antler there is a little bit too plain for what I'm trying to go. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to go for right now. Just, you know, something to like kind of make it pop. So right now, if I left the creature as is with just the limbs and the head, I think it'd be a little bit too basic. I know a lot of people like simplicity, but there's simplicity. And then there's, you know, in my opinion, doing the bare minimum for the challenge. And I don't want to do the bare minimum because what's the point in doing the challenge in the first place if I just, you know, end it really early and say, okay, that's good enough. I mean, we're not going for good enough, are we? We're actually trying to fulfill the challenge. You guys can probably tell I'm quite competitive. I do really like competitive things in general, like competitive gaming. Or, like art's always being another thing. Like, I don't know, it's always been the case for me when it comes to like art and such, making concepts, whatever, it's always trying to push yourself. If you keep on pushing yourself, you know, you keep on improving. And that's always been my biggest thing, is I want to improve in what I do. It's always been the case for me. Although I'm kind of just like rambling at this point on. Let's just go ahead and just smack on a bunch of these then. Oh, I love using this part here. Even better when I could change the shape of it. But, I like it regardless. It's just, it feels so lackluster at the back there. Maybe if I can balance out with some keratin horns. Although they're a bit small as well. Oh man, this is it's a struggle, guys. It's a struggle right now. Trying so hard to resist scaling them. I just want to make them bigger or make them smaller. Just balance them out. Right now, they just feel really, really boring. But I'm trying. I'm really trying to resist that urge. Okay, if I do all of that like that. Oh, not that part. Okay, something like that. Maybe I can put one of these up here as well. Something like that. Maybe I could do like a little bit more on the wrists here, like on the shoulders. Again, like just adds that little extra detail. I keep on taking off the arms instead. There. Can I go for like something similar to the Indominus Rex? Where she's got the whiskers, or quills more like, coming out of her forearms and her elbows. You guys might notice I do hover over the arrows every now and then, like that. I do that mainly because, I'm not sure if you guys ever noticed this, or if you've ever experienced it for yourselves, but sometimes when I add a new part on, and I try to interact with the wheel, sometimes it's like a little bit off. Like if I mouse over it, it doesn't actually register. So the best way to fix that is to just mouse over the arrow, and it kind of realigns it. I'm not sure why that's the case, but it's something I've noticed. So I'm not actually, like, I'm really trying to avoid actually using the arrows, but I do have to mouse over them in order to realign the rotation wheels. So if you ever experience that issue, hopefully that helps. Okay, for the back here, I'm kind of thinking some horror lumps. I'm going to go the same design, or the same idea I did for the, what do you call it, the Adora visors. Do the same thing on the back, just with horror lumps instead. But I might actually make them, you know, kind of poke out a little bit more instead. Like maybe like that. Maybe it'll follow the same pattern as the rest of the backrest. In fact, I'm just going to change it up entirely. I'm not going to do what I did with the front. I'm just going to add just more spikes on the back. The fact that I can't change the sizes and the shapes and such really means that there isn't much variety. I'm trying to add substitutes by using other parts and pieces instead to like kind of make up for the lack of variety. And I think that kind of works. The creature itself is absolutely bizarre, but you know, unfortunately, I just completely randomized the base body. I just spammed new creation, and settled on whatever it gave me, and sadly, it happened to be a very, very small body. I could technically use limbs to like increase the size of the body itself, but that's really hard to do when I'm not able to scale them. And particularly so, let's say I use a smoother, this piece here, well, I'm not allowed to scale it, am I? So it's going to become very, very awkward and bulbous. It's interesting though. I really do enjoy these limitations. They're extremely different. I mean, I get limitations all the time in regular creations. Let's say I'm trying to make something from Monster Hunter. Well, I'm obviously very limited on, say, the amount of parts I have, or the particular shape of a horn, or whatever. Limitations always happen. But then there's limitations like that where I don't have a certain style of a piece I need, And then there's limitations like this, where I'm just simply not allowed to use basic functions. And it just makes... It's a breath of fresh... It's a breath, no. It's a breath of fresh air for me. And at the same time, just a little bit nightmarish, if I'm honest. But all in a good way. I'm just checking out these pieces here. There's... Oh, that is... That is interesting. Huh. I might have to use that for myself in future videos. I'm not sure I can really fit it in here. Or maybe I can, actually. If I just like chuck this up on the shoulders, for instance. Give it like a bit of a... kind of reminds me of Diablo with the large crest. Or not crest, more like horns and such come out of the shoulders. Yeah, that kind of works. That does work, okay. What is this? Oh, that's big. What is that? Is that meant to be a wing? I have a... Okay, whatever that is, the mesh is clearly broken. You can tell as I, you know, looking from different point of views, that certain pieces there just like kind of disappear. Yeah, that's obviously not final. This piece here though, that is actually working in terms of symmetry. Maybe I can add that on the arms as like some kind of blade. My ladder rotates much so. Oh, actually, I was going to turn it towards that angle there. Well, I kind of like it that way actually. Let's bring it a little bit forward to the wrist. So that way it's a little bit more proportional. Yeah, that looks pretty cool actually. I like that. I do like that indeed. Maybe I could do the same thing on the legs? No, not really. They're a bit... not without changing the size. This is one strange creature. Right, what else can I add? I'm not sure there actually is much else I can add. This is definitely a challenge I'm going to have to try again in the future. To be fair, the whole use the default body shape is a thing that people have been asking me to do for a long time. So this definitely is a challenge I might do like more than once. So it has the what's the word? The potential to be like very, very different every time. Just in this case, you know, like I've been harping on about, the smaller body means we're very limited here. There's not much I can do, but considering that though, I think this is a very interesting creature. Very interesting indeed. Now, the hard part here is the colours. No one ever gave me any limitations on the colours, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that I can use any texture. I'm going to assume I can use any texture. I'm going to assume I can use any of the colours, but I can't change them. Like I can't use a colour picker, or I can't, you know, like choose any of these ones here. I'm going to assume I can only use these. So the question is, what kind of colours do I want? How is this going to look? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I get a vibe from this creature. It's meant to be like something green, brown, grey, maybe black and white, although I can't actually do that. I can do the white here, but that's, yeah, it's going to change depending on what I choose. So that's the vibe I'm getting here. Something very earthy, kind of like a earth element kind of creature, or maybe not earth element, more like a swamp creature. That's the vibe I'm getting from this creature so far. So maybe we could do like a little bit of red as well, like depending on the colour, might be able, or the texture pattern, we might be able to throw in some red. For the base body, I'm thinking grey. For the base body itself. And maybe we can use a texture like that to like artificially make it darker. I'm really not liking the way that the chest there is clipping. In fact, nah, I can't really be doing that. The way it's clipping around is just a bit much for me. I can try to ignore it, but nah. I think it's just sloppy if I do. At least in terms of the animation, like when it animates, it just seems kind of all over the place. I'm not sure there actually is much I can do about it. I like the antlers. I feel like the antlers kind of adds just a little bit more to it. But the rest of the body in general, I don't know. Maybe I can offset it by adding a couple of more of the Adora visors around. If I like place one here, for instance, fold that one back so it's kind of overlapping. Maybe I can make it kind of work. I'm gonna have to fold that one back a lot actually. Maybe like that. Okay. Add another one up there. Point it up a bit more though, because I'm not going to be able to do this for the entire thing. Fold it back so it's more properly overlapping. Yeah, okay, that is working. It's better. It's not perfect, but it definitely is better. Where is it? Kind of losing the parts out there, molding into each other. Right, something like that, and then grab that bit, move it up. I don't want to clip into the antlers, preferably. Although they are going to animate and bounce around, so I can't really prevent too much clipping. Okay, I think that's a bit better. It does seem kind of cluttered. And by comparison, the legs are actually very, very vague, I've just realised. Damn. Damn, that's all I can say. Oh, I have an idea. Maybe this piece here can help us. Just add that little bit of variety. Just a little bit. I was trying to add the spikes on earlier, but they kind of weren't working. Maybe that would work a bit better. Have something like that. Maybe I can add that. Like so. I think that'll do it. Again, just add a little bit extra. So that it looks a little bit less plain. I think that's okay. It's a bit weird. It is weird. But I think that works. Let's get back to the colours then. So I want to have like a bit of a grey body. Although it just seems a bit plain actually. What if I go for... What do I go for? This is really tricky actually. It looks kind of funky because we are using a lot of heavily modded pieces. And obviously the modded pieces aren't going to be as optimised for texturing as, say, vanilla or the dark Spore parts. So it does come out a little bit abrupt in some places. That is to be expected. Too bad the feet are clipping though, but whatever. I decided that we're going to keep it. It's so weird. It's really weird. I feel like if we had more freedom in the color palette, I think this could like really stand out. But because I was never given a limit or a restriction to the colors, I'm given my own ones, and if I'm honest, I'm not liking them. But again, part of the challenge. That is actually not that bad. That is not that bad at all. I kind of like that. That's interesting. That is definitely interesting. The legs are a little bit cartoonishly large, in my opinion. Like, it's one of those things where if I could just like change the scale on certain pieces just a little bit, I think it would really work. But as they are right now, it's an interesting creature. I actually quite like this. I feel like it could use a bit of tweaking, which I can't do for the challenge. But I think it almost works. That is interesting. And the anime is surprisingly okay considering. How does it? How the other, like the combat animations? That's not that bad. That is not that bad at all. Alright. I think I'd consider this one a bit of a success. Let me know guys what you think about this one. It is very, very strange, but I actually do kind of like it. So this creature was just the overall default to everything, pretty much. It's just default everything, default part sizes, default body size, you know, default colours-ish, you know, within some freedom on limits and such. But yeah, that was really fun. That definitely was one of the more harder ones. As opposed to, like, say, the left-handed challenge. Like, the left-handed challenge itself was tricky in that I couldn't really use my hand properly. What else we had? The 10-minute challenge was hard in that I had to rush. But this one was hard in a very, very different way. I had the freedom of using, you know, my dominant hand as much time as I wanted, all that other kind of things. And yet, it still felt, like, mentally challenging. Very different. I like it. I like that. In fact, guys, if any of you experience like a bit of a artist block, or you're a bit bored and you don't know what to make in Spore, I would highly recommend giving this challenge a go. So I guarantee you, I would not have made anything like this if it went for the challenge. Give it a go yourself, guys. Make your own default creations. I'd love to see them. Your own default base and default part sizes, maybe. Maybe you can change the sizes a little bit, but default default shapes and modifications. And let me know, like, if you do come up with anything, I would love to see it. I do really enjoy seeing other people's creations. But that is Probably gonna have to be it. The video's a little bit longer than usual, I'm afraid. So guys, as always, thank you for the challenges. I'm really enjoying these. Keep them coming. I'm writing them all down, and I will be doing as much of them as I can over time, so keep them coming. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you look forward to the next one. Have a lovely day, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves.